From Bonk38, if the Bears trade Robert Quinn, who are some good fits? Good question. To some extent, everybody, because although Quinn is older, he was actually awesome last year for the Chicago Bears. After a down 2020 campaign, his foot was not right. One of the more under-the-radar 18.5 sack seasons that I can remember. Like, Quinn was out there just balling consistently on a bad football team. I think there should be some value in Quinn in the event he gets dealt, so some teams to keep an eye out for. Maybe more at the deadline as opposed to a trade preseason. The Baltimore Ravens still need another edge. He makes sense there. Same with the Carolina Panthers. If the Browns don't keep Clowney, that's a great fit for Quinn. The Rams are F them picks mindset, and that'd be actually a fantastic reunion for Quinn and LA. And the Chiefs, under the radar, I think they're okay at edge, but they're aggressive as well. And if they could just play on Mahomes' money, they're in great shape there. So 5 teams I think could make some sense. I think there'd be a lot of interest in Quinn. I want you guys to name a player who you think gets dealt next. It has been a wild offseason as it relates to the NFL, crazy trades, and they're probably not done yet. So get your answers in for me, the next player to get traded. From Chris, is Cam Newton going to play again in the NFL? I don't know. Newton is not what he was in his prime, and his play style doesn't necessarily lend itself to being the ideal backup QB because his passing, as you saw this past year, took a bit of a step down. And even in the bad quarterback room in Carolina, wasn't ideal from that standpoint. Now, I do think the mobility does bring value for Cam as a backup QB, and it's a matter of how teams would think he would fare as that vet mentor guy because he ain't going to start for you anymore. So I think there are some teams that could be interested in Cam Newton. Baltimore Ravens, if you want a more proven backup over Tyler Huntley, who is a mobile quarterback, fits the mold, right? Denver's thin behind Russell Wilson. Indy behind Matt Ryan. Carolina, of course, could always bring back the franchise icon. Houston could have a better backup QB than Kyle Allen, who I think is terrible. Tennessee, if Malik Willis isn't ready, it's actually a decent mentor play style guy to have both on your roster. Niners are my dark horse. If you want that mobile quarterback to back up Trey Lance, I think is actually a good fit. And how about dark horse Seattle, since I think they have one of the, if not the worst quarterback rooms in the NFL. So will Cam Newton play this year? 1 for yes, he's going to get at least one more year in the NFL, or 0 for no, he is simply done at this point. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, type in 1 for yes or 0 for no. From Drewski, what can the Patriots get for N'Keal Harry? A bag of salt and vinegar potato chips. It's kind of about it. No one wants N'Keal Harry. And the reasoning is pretty straightforward. He's bad. These are the career stats. Great job getting this up there, Producer Jeff. Career stats for N'Keal Harry. 57 grabs, under 600 yards, and 4 touchdowns. If I covered up the games played and said, these are N'Keal Harry stats, you would have gone, not the best first season for a first-round pick, but enough promise there. Not just his first season. That's his career. Can't get open. Can't get on the field for a team that has desperately wanted receiver help for years now. That's the sign of a bust. I'm sorry. Now, if he gets cut, somebody will gamble on him. I mean, shit, Laquan Treadwell got chances to play this year, right? 8 teams that I think at some level are still in the market for receiver help. The Bears, they're signing all of the cast-offs. Makes sense. The Browns, if you want to go with a sleeper team there. The Colts, Falcons, even after the Bryan Edwards trade, could still use some more help. Green Bay, their number 1 is Allen Lazard. It's not pretty. The Ravens are still in the market, I would argue, for another receiver, unless you really believe in James Prochet, Tylan Wallace, which, maybe not yet. The Vikings, if they don't trust KJ Osborne. And Tennessee, sleeper team there, given that they have A.J. Brown, or they traded away A.J. Brown, have Robert Woods and Traylon Burks, and not much else. So when it comes to N'Keal Harry, is he worth trading for? Type in T for trade. He's worth adding to your roster. or type in P for pass. Is N'Keal Harry worth adding if you ran an NFL team? Sound off for me in the comments section. From Silik Zinica, I mispronounced that. I'm sorry, my friend. Can the Eagles trade Reagor and some picks to the Ravens for Chuck Clark, or can they get Jesse Bates from the Bengals? Allegedly, Philadelphia didn't want to go get Chuck Clark, which I thought was dumb. He's a good football player and feels a big-time need. Reagor and picks, I think, could actually make a lot of sense for both sides. Of course, you're selling low on Reagor, but he's been bad, so that makes sense. If they could go get Bates for a second-rounder, that would be an awesome move by Philadelphia. That's paying big-time money, but they are a lot more aggressive than almost any NFC team not named the Saints or the Rams are, and I respect the hell out of them for it. From Smokey McKenzie, who said he recently subbed, thank you, Smokey, most overrated team and most underrated NFL team. Probably a show we'll do, well, a video we'll do an entire thing on, just overrated and underrated teams. Overrated teams right now, a little bit worried about Tennessee, by the way, and Green Bay. Now, the NFC side from Green Bay, they'll win the division, no problems there. I'm worried about them. Underrated teams that I see out there, Ravens. They went 9-8 because of injuries last year. I think the Ravens are going to be a very real playoff threat this year, and I think Pittsburgh and the Raiders are a bit overrated as well. From Alec G, which NFL team will be expected to make the playoffs and miss, and vice versa? So about every year, before they added the extra wild card spot, about 4 teams who made it last year didn't make it the next season. The ones that jump out to me, well, Pittsburgh's pretty obvious, I think, from that standpoint. Patriots as well. I think the Chargers will be able to make it in. Now, if you're talking about this year and the expectations of making it, I could see a team like Arizona kind of collapsing a little bit this year, like they've done in the past when they don't have their best playoff stuff. The surprise team, and I don't know if they're there yet, but the shocking team could be someone like the Jets. They take a massive step forward and wow everybody. I think it'd be more likely a surprise NFC team ends up emerging. The Saints might count in that category, but I feel like people think they're good enough still. It's a great question, Alex, and we might do a full video on that in the future. From 30 Racks, who's your early offensive and defensive player of the year? Okay, let me go with, I'm going to go Drake London for the Atlanta Falcons because it's him and Kyle Pitts catching passes. Oh, I read that as rookie of the year. Sorry. Jeff's face is like, I'm like, what are you talking? Offensive and defensive. Okay, not rookies. My bad. Offensive player of the year. It's not going to go back. Josh Allen. Give me Josh Allen. Runner-up, Justin Herbert. Defensive player of the year. Let's go back to the Aaron Donald well, who will once again win that award. And maybe a guy like Micah Parsons makes a good run at it as well. Now, we have daily NFL shows and NBA coverage as well here at Chat Sports. If you want that all for free, it's pretty easy to get. All you have to do is hit that big red button and subscribe for free NFL videos and NBA and even some college football stuff here as well. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Tom, look into your crystal ball. Who wins the Super Bowl? Not going to go Brady. Give me the Bills. Give me Josh Allen, Buffalo, Bills Mafia gets a Super Bowl ring for the first time. That'd be pretty fun on that standpoint. If you're watching on demand as opposed to live, you might be like, well, shucks, Tom, I can't get my questions answered on the mailbag. I'm not able to watch live. Good news. YouTube is trying to help you out here. They have added Super Thanks, and this allows you to donate outside of live videos. Before this, you could only Super Chat on live, nothing on demand to donate. What you do is click the little thanks icon, that third row. It's the heart with the $sign in the middle. You can pick your amount and edit your message so that if you're watching this instead of on Wednesdays live, on a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever, you can still donate. We'll get a notification. We can add it to a future show for you. We appreciate your support here at Chat Sports. It's possible thanks to you guys. Any super thanks, even if there's no question, will get you a shout out on a future show. From KD, guess for comeback player of the year. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. I think that's a pretty safe bet from that standpoint. Jameis Winston will be in the conversation as well. Deshaun Watson should be. I wonder if the voters will say no matter what to Deshaun. Beyond that, Christian McCaffrey is probably maybe a bit more under the radar than you expect. Bet looking at the odds here, he's tied for 5th. And I'll throw Michael Thomas in that conversation as well. Super chat again from Taylor Holland. NFL underdog for AFC and NFC Rookie of the Year. Alec Pierce on both sides of the ball. Okay, so there's a long, in-depth question here. We'll throw in AFC underdog for Rookie of the Year for Alec Pierce. That's fine with me. Beyond that, and I guess I got to do defense too. That's fine. NFC underdog for Rookie of the Year. How about Kenneth Walker? How about the Seahawks who want to run the football a lot? He gets that award over, I think, the betting favorite right now in Drake London. We can roll with Alec Pierce for AFC. For NFC Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year, I mean, Thibodeau's, I think, pretty clearly your betting favorite from that standpoint, so I don't want to go too far on that. Or maybe Hutchinson is your betting favorite, actually, now that I think about it more. So I'm not going to go Thibodeau. I just want to make sure I want to go beyond the normal route there. Stingley's too obvious. Is Kyle Hamilton cheating, Jeremy? Is that cheating for me? Because that's my guy. That's cheating? Okay, I got to go deeper. Okay, Trent McDuffie in the AFC, because I'm a big fan of his game. In the NFC defense, how about Andrew Booth of the Vikings? I think Booth could play a big-time role for Minnesota. From Epps CX, Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. So this is Bama edge rusher Will Anderson and Georgia defense lineman Jalen Carter. As we sit in the way too early process, two of the best players in next year's draft class. No wrong answer. Carter's going to be a stud, so is Anderson. But had both guys been draft eligible, I think Anderson would have been the first player taken in this year's class, and Carter might have been number 2, to be honest. Anderson is a stud. I think he is the best player in all of college football, and I thought he was that last year as well.